Yeah. And, you know, I think I'm also just not in that space right now either to be just like a kiki all around town, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I want to be around people who are like, who inspire me and vice versa. And,
I
you
know,
know,
I feel like
who are
that
hard
too.
workers and, you know.
No, I 100%, I get that. Like, I truly want that here in Ocala too. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if we're ever really going to get that. I don't know. It's been interesting doing this podcast. Like, I really
It's
want
like
that.
segueing into the, you know.
But I really want like a good, strong like community here in Ocala, like for business people. But like doing this podcast, it's been kind of interesting. I've been meeting a lot of like really great people who are more on the alternative side. I met Brittany with 18 Hour Photography. She's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely love her. She's super like edgy, cool, hip. Think she's great. Genuinely, we really connected. It was really great. And then I just met Matt Gray. Do you know Matt Gray? No, he does the oddities market here. So it's like all the like creepy
I've
and all
been
that.
seeing a lot of promo for that.
Yeah, and so I just interviewed him.
Okay.
And he's really cool too. I really liked him. He's also a DJ for weddings, and that's how Brittany told me about him, and I got his information through Brittany, and I got to interview him, which was really great, and I'll be posting that one semi-soon. But it's nice to kind of see these people who are kind of on the same page as me. It's just, unfortunately, I don't think we have a great place to go and like have community of like-minded entrepreneur type people. Like, I just don't have that here in Ocala. I don't know why.
I think I can definitely agree with that in a sense. Because, like, I don't, you know, when I go out, or when I did go out, you know, I don't know, maybe I'm not approachable in a sense. Maybe I don't know, but I haven't maybe pushed myself enough either to meet people, network. But, you know, organically through, like, clientele, I've definitely been able to network through people. I think since you brought that up to me, I noticed, I'm like, oh, maybe I haven't pushed myself enough to like network a little bit, because I do, you know, in spaces, I think tend to be more towards myself. So I won't approach somebody in public. Like, I'm not the first person to do that. So.
No, I know, I relate with that too. I'm not really that person, but we just don't have a space, and this is my personal opinion. Like, I've been recently going to a networking event here. It's been here in Ocala. They've been doing it monthly.
What is it?
I can't think of, it's like excellent, like events. It's like Biz, do you know Woody?
Biz NCT?
Yeah, but he's doing it, and there's another realtor doing it, and there's somebody else, and they like put on this event. I can't remember the name of the event company, but they've been doing this for like networking. And the last event was pretty good, but like in my personal opinion, the venue wasn't that great, and I don't think it really allowed a very good space for a conversation. They had it here at the office, and that was a lot better. So I'm hoping like next month, like it'd be better, because I had some really great conversations with people.
Yeah.
And I think also with COVID, I think we just got in this habit of not talking to people. And I also don't even know if it's because I'm very talkative. You know how I am.
Yeah.
But like people don't know how to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm. And like carry it.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, you and I can talk and chit chat and laugh or whatever.
Yeah.
And like they can't do that. And I'm like, how are you gonna this isn't gonna work.
I think COVID definitely made a lot of people step back in that term. Like, we lost our XP. We lost our XP. You know, so it's, you know, I think too, we're so used to communicating and seeing, I think on social media too, like, so it's just, we get comfortable a little bit. I think we just got comfortable being in our shell for a minute. So, you know, I think, I don't know, maybe like, as far as like community spaces, like, do you mean like, well, as far as like community spaces, what
like we don't have anything. That's what I'm trying to say. Like
not like a bar, not like a club.
No, I don't want to drink and party and do all of that. And I've met people. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've met some really great people like at a bar.
Me too.
But and that's okay. And that's part of it. But I also don't want to walk. Maybe it's just me being lazy. But I don't want to walk through a grocery store and bother the freaking fruit person.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe that's an age group thing where we just don't want to be over salesy, and we just like. It's weird.
I always hated that aspect. Like, I hated that. Especially in retail, I hated it. Oh, It was awful. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. We just don't have like a good community space where people like come together and just like chill.
Yeah.
Like like talk, and there's, I don't know, have like engaging conversations about life and things, and just talk, and I don't know, say different ideas. Like honestly, doing this in some of these interviews, like I've noticed like some people will be the expert and some people won't, or like I think they feel like they have to filter themselves, and I'm like, I don't care if I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Like
a bit of vulnerability.
Yeah, and I want that.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's like my whole point of this is I want to have a conversation with you. I want to get to know you. I want the audience to get to know you. This is about you. Like, it's not about me or my opinion. Like, I may share my opinion, but it's not about that. It's about like you as the person and your truth, and I want you to talk about like whatever you love. Like, I know you love hair and makeup and all of that. So, like, talk about it. Like, be the expert. Like, if you want to geek out about how you color somebody's hair, go for it. Like, I don't care. Like, you do you, I do me. Like, I'm a realtor. I could probably talk about real estate all day long. Like I told you, all that crap.
Oh yeah.
And,
I didn't know a shit about it.
I know, but like I do that for a living, and I know my crap, because that's, if in this business you have so much competition. You do hair too.
Do.
Everybody freaking cuts hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's like another thing. Everybody's a realtor. Everybody cuts hair, but not everybody does it well. And everybody like takes the time to know their craft and do well, which I think you take it serious. You really like it. I think that's part of it too.
I have put blood, sweat, and tears, and I have broken myself and came back. So definitely, yeah,
I know.
I am very passionate about it. So.
I know. I've noticed your like little spark kind of come back since the last time when we did this the first time.
Yeah, I was going through it.
I could tell. I was like, Xavier just doesn't quite seem like himself, but you do now. I can see like a confidence boost, and I'm happy to see that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You know me. I always root for people. Like, if you're a good, genuine person, I don't think you're a crappy person. Like, I root for you. I hope you're successful. Like, that's just kind of like, that's just me.
I'll even root for a shit person, because you know what? Maybe shit people need to get rooted for.
Well, as long as you're not screwing anybody over, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, as long as you're not like fucking people over. No. Even the villain needs support sometimes too. No.
I know, that's so funny, because Sage, Darielle, and I. So I'm the hero. Darielle's is the anti-hero, and Sage is the villain. And so we like joke about that all the time. It's like a whole thing. We're like a hot mess. I swear to God.
I love it.
It's suiting. I would be the hero. I would not be Darielle is definitely the anti-hero. If I don't know. Hopefully, maybe we can get together and go to dinner before you guys leave or something. But
I would love that. We should definitely do that. I think we talked about that before, and then
we did, and then we just didn't. And
life
just gets
happens.
It does, and I think I'm a little bit better spot too. I had recently just left from working with my mom, so I was like, that was a lot. So now I think things are a little bit more stable, I guess, kind of. So. Good. Tell us about your hair and your story, Xavier, and about everything that you do. I know you're moving, but go ahead and tell us about your passion.
No, of course. So, I mean, I grew up in this industry. My mom is a nail tech. She's a permanent makeup artist, too. She started doing nails, but loved hair, just didn't get into it. And I kind of just grew up in it. I didn't want to do it at first, so never had a thought about doing hair or anything like that related. I actually wanted to be a musician, singing. I went to community college for it. I had a scholarship to do that, and I just was like, at some point, I just wanted to do hair. Along the way, doing that, so I dropped out and I went to beauty school in the Villages, and it's been about 4.5 years. Yeah, 4.5 years. And I love it. I think there's always something to learn. You know, it allows me to put, I guess it allows me to just put everything that I've enjoyed about putting myself together into other people. Because when you look good, you know, you put out your inner best, I think, you know. So, you know, I just love giving people a good experience and educating. I love educating as a part of that, and yeah.
Do you think you're gonna? I know we talked about that before. How much you liked the wasn't there like a company that you could work for, or like a brand? Aren't you like a brand ambassador or something where you
Oh,
go?
yeah, Redken. You can be a Redken or
I'm
like
sure there's
whatever
other
for-
ones, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
Do you think you think that's something you would get into when you go to Richmond?
I would like to, yeah, because I'll be closer to New York, and I can definitely get that opportunity on Salon Fifth Ave in New York, and you know.
Or even just like a company. I mean, there's like a lot of companies out there and stuff, and that tends to be more
Yeah.
manufacturing up there, up like northern. It's just more manufacturing, more producing, more. It just is what it is, like up there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've been networking with some people in salons in Richmond, and one of them is like a Bumble and Bumble educator.
What is that?
Bumble and Bumble, they are more like a styling brand in
Okay.
the hair industry. So they have really popular like hot tools,
Okay.
styling products, and I don't know if they do color or anything. So
Okay.
she's done a lot of education with them. I think Nicole. Her name's Nicole, and you know that was one of the things that she would probably help me under her. You know, she has different color lines other than Redken. I've been doing a lot of research with the salons, and there's not a lot that do Redken there.
Okay.
So a lot of it's like cleaner, I guess, brands. You know, like more just like non-animal cruelty. And I thought Redken was animal cruelty free, but
I don't know.
I guess they're not. So.
I don't. That's an old brand. That brand's been about a
Yeah, they've
long
been around
time forever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
forever.
And I think that probably has to do with like the older population that we have here. Is probably why it's like so popular here versus up there. I think people up there are like more hip and cool. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, I think in this area we definitely stick to what we know. It's traditional. It works. So we're gonna stay in that. Mm-hmm. But there are salons that are wanting to do more cleaner brands and reach out. You know, I think just it's all what we're exposed to. I think, and what we expose ourselves to. So I'm excited for that to just learn new different color lines, and
So
there will be more.
Are you looking
opportunities.
to work with that company, or are you looking to work in a salon like you do now?
I definitely still want to work. I definitely want to work in a salon.
Okay.
If you're an educator, you'll definitely still be working in the
Oh, okay.
salon, but you'll just be traveling more, so you won't have much open.
Oh, okay.
In a sense, you'll make more demand for yourself, which you know, in return, that's good. So definitely, I think I've just always wanted to be a Redken ambassador first because I just love the color line. I believe in their mantra, you know, in how that they do things. So I definitely just want to get that certification. I'm one of those people. I'm like, you know, if there's something I really believe in, like I'll stick to it, and I'll almost like blinders. In a sense. So even though people are like, girl, like Redken's old, there's, you know, anybody could be a Redken educator. I'm like, well, I know anybody could be a Redken educator, but what's going to make me stand out? You know, regardless, whether I translate that to a different color line or whatever, like it's still going to translate. So
No,
you know.
that's true. I know. Hopefully, like the move goes really smooth and you end up where you want to be. I don't know, because you always talked about like from last time you talked about really doing like the education stuff, and I can see you doing that because like you said, you like really like science, and I can share that. I share that science love. I do. So I could see where that kind of coincides.
Like earth-based science?
Are
or
you crazy?
chemistry?
Hell no. I would shoot myself if I had to.
Body?
Yeah,
Body?
I like the human body.
Okay.
I was like, no, you need to talk to Ariel for that one, not me. That's the anthropology major over there.
Oh, sweet. Her and I could.
I hate
science
that.
based.
You like that?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I love like geography. Maps. I can read really well.
No, I don't share your love for science. Take it back. I take it back. I don't share it.
It's funny. I think it's ironic that I ended up
If you like chemistry, yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't
really?
pay attention for it for shit.
Oh, okay. I like chemistry. I actually really like chemistry, but I think chemistry combines like the body and like I guess more like on a chemical basis. I guess I know that
It does. No,
yeah.
it really does. You know, the things that we talk about. You know, what hair is made up of and why people can't get white blonde in one day. Certain people, it's just not achievable, and your hair is going to fall off, and you're not going to have, you know, it's like, are you going to spend the money to invest in these things? Because we're not telling you not everyone is telling you to just buy this product. And, you know, like you really have to understand, at least me, I try to understand everybody's lifestyle. I ask people, like, what is your lifestyle like? Are you outdoors a lot? Do you take time to do your hair? Do you wash it a lot? You know, if somebody's wanting to be blonde or have color, you know, I try to tell people, like, okay, like, but like, what's your maintenance going to be afterwards? Are you willing to come into the salon, you know, every certain amount of weeks to get the color touched up, or are you just going to let it fade? Because otherwise, like, it allows me, I think, too, to understand how much effort to put in.
No, but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, but also, like, the fact that you do that, it kind of, like, saves somebody, like, the time and effort of, like, going through, starting the process, and then being mad at you in the long run because their hair is not the way they want it.
Exactly, that part. See, I didn't even see that. So, absolutely. You know, I actually just, I actually told this girl, this high school girl who's getting her senior pictures done. I had already done her before, but she had a wonky color history already. So she was having, you know, she was a, I think she was like Panamanian or something.
Okay.
So she's got dark hair, coarse.
Or very coarse, yes.
Yeah. So it's hard to lift, but she had the lift, but she was over processed in the front, and she wanted to. Thankfully, it was a consult, but I had to turn her down to tell her, like, listen, your hair needs a break, like. If I lift you to this color that you want all over, because more in the back it was kind of like more orangey, and she just wanted it more even. So, oh yeah, so I was asking her I'm asking her all these questions, and you know,
That's good.
you know, people just don't. Not everybody wants to take the time, or they aren't educated enough to understand like the kind of maintenance. So I was walking her through with all that. You know, what is going to be needed of her. So I was like, unfortunately, you know, I'm sorry to break your heart. You're not going to get the photos you want for, you know, senior portraits. She ended up crying in the chair. I felt bad. And it stuck with me. So I hit her up, you know, I had her buy product. Like, listen, come back in a month, use this, and we'll see, you know. I texted her a long ass paragraph.
About what she needs to do?
No, I said.
Oh, because you felt bad.
I did, you know, because I have little siblings, and you know, I couldn't imagine telling my little sister like, no, you can't have the hair like you want, or just like, you know. So it just made me feel bad. So I texted her and basically just, you know, I would love to do your hair. I want you to know like your hair is as beautiful as you probably are on the inside, and I know, you know, you want to share these memories with your family, but you know, you're gonna look back and be thankful that I didn't do this and take your money. She's a working, you know, high school girl. So I'm like, you know, she's not making much.
No.
How many of us were making good money in high school?
Oh, yeah, Panera? Mm-hmm, no.
Yeah. No.
Oh, no.
Shit.
Oh, my God. That was terrible. No, never again.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I told her that too. I'm like, I don't want to take your hard-earned money. And like, I just don't feel comfortably doing that. So she was actually thankful in the end. She was like, I was upset, but you know, I understand, and I definitely will have you doing my hair. And
that's good.
Yeah, you know, I think when people just want to feel that somebody's taking the time for them.
No, 100%. I can relate to that in real estate, because there's just so many people, like we were just talking about this, like there are so many people that got in this game because they thought it was easy, quick money, and I can promise you, like, it is not easy, quick money. You will not be rich tomorrow. Like, real estate, like, you get paid one day, you don't get paid the other, and I've seen some realtors, like, on TikTok and stuff be like, why aren't you, like, meeting people to be able to, like, sell them a house or whatever? But, like, I honestly think here in Florida, or at least in Ocala, everybody's a realtor, and everybody knows somebody. And so whether that person's good or not is, you know, what is up to whoever decides that. But I think at some point, as the market continues to do this downshift, more and more people are going to get out and be more and more availability for you to take over market share. But a lot of them don't. They're just like too self-focused, and they think that going into an entrepreneurship job means that you have more time, and in reality you have less time. Like, it is not a jump in, I have all this time. Like, you can get to that point, but you're talking like at minimum 10 to 20 years from now. Like, it takes that long for you to build that big of a system, and that's if you don't fail at some point along those 10, 20 years and have to restart over again. Because that's just like, that's the thing of entrepreneurship. Like, it's great and fun and wonderful, and I do get to make my own schedule, But at the end of the day, if I'm not on the computer working, or if I'm not doing my podcast and meeting more people or doing this or whatever, like I can't grow my business and be more successful. And I think people also with being a realtor, I don't think they understand the importance of like doing what you did for your client, like talking to them. And yes, it's sales, and yes, I do sell a person a house if I, but at the end of the day, sometimes people come to me and they don't know what they need, want, or actually what they can afford. And
that's exactly what.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what, so we have to decipher that.
You have to decipher that and have to be honest. I had that conversation with a couple one time. They really wanted this property. They had all these dogs, and I was like, either you're going to have to go up and price some, or you're going to have to sacrifice driving farther. Like, you're going to have to, you have to decide, these are your 3 options, pick one.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wasn't nasty or mean, and, luckily they trusted my opinion.
But you are stern.
I'm stern. Like,
yeah.
To
the point.
To the point, because we're wasting time. They're not making more houses. You're not going to make any more money. You're going to continue to live in this Airbnb unless we have 3 options. Pick one.
Oof, God, and Airbnbs are expensive.
They are expensive.
Especially these traveling nurses, they get credit kind of for their living expenses. But it all just goes so fast. So I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, no, they come, especially people that have like dogs and stuff. Like, I don't know, like that couple had like, I don't know how many dogs they had. They have a bunch of animals. I love them. They're great people, but they had a hard time finding an Airbnb. But I think it kind of just goes back to the point that I was trying to make, because I kind of got on a rant there a little bit. But I think I can't tell you how many people I've talked to recently where the realtor doesn't answer the phone. They don't work on weekends. They're not like there for their customer, and they don't like walk them through and give that like customer service that's necessary. And I think you doing that, and like I pride myself on doing that, will set us apart in the long term.
And yeah, in the long term, it definitely will, because real world example that I'm gonna bring in, one of these freaking lawn guys, I've had 2 or 3 experiences. They don't, like, he just was very short over text message, and you can't put emotion into text message, I know. So maybe it was from all the cleaning and stuff. I'm just like, well, I'm just like frazzled, whatever. But I think, we take, in our field, I'm getting so sidetracked right now.
I did that too. It's okay.
So, yeah, I was asking them, like, how can you just give us a quote? When would you be by? Asking those kind of questions, and he wouldn't get back to me until like the morning, and he was like, oh, I came by, and it would be like $110 for, upkeep a month. And I was like, okay, but how much is it going to cost, like for the whole thing, like now? And, I was like, so like, he didn't get back to me about that, and he was like, well, I'm going to be going on vacation Friday, because I wanted one of us to be home, or well, Connor works from home, but he's just on the computer, so he can't really just like be like, oh yeah, hey, come on by. So I don't know. I guess it just didn't work out in the long run, but we did find someone else, and that was really nice. Good. But I kid you not, like he came by, he was texting. So I think, that's what it was. I just noticed people's work ethic too, like, is not, I don't expect this myself from other people, but you just notice that some people's work ethic is not the same as, someone else who might not have that ideal image that they bring out to somebody else. But God damn it, they're going to work. They're going to, like, they came the same day that they were texting Connor. I think his name was Tyler or something. And, he was like, we'll do the yard, fix it up. And it was great. And I was like, oh, that's the kind of, I was like, I love that. It made me feel even better. So I think when it also comes to everybody being a realtor, wanting to cash in, being a hairstylist,
it's
beauty industry. Thing. Yeah, people expect, the money to come quick, but you don't realize, like, what it takes. And,
the time, the effort, the everything. And then, like, especially like in today's world where we have to like have social media and all of that exhaustive like amount of like stuff that you have to do. Like doing this podcast, I actually genuinely like, I enjoy doing this, and so I find myself doing this more. But there's also things I need to do like social media wise that I kind of like put on the back burner. It's kind of bad.
Me too.
Yeah, it's bad, and I'm like I shouldn't be doing this, but so I'm trying to get it together. But we'll see. It's just exhausting. I'm like, I don't know. Social media is like a lot. Sometimes I wish we didn't really have it, but.
Oh, I say that all the time. Like, have you heard about the sun flare thing coming up, or like the solar sun flare
what
thing?
now? All right,
They always talk about it.
You and your planets.
Oh yeah, that's right. Me and sciences. So they say, they were saying like, there's the sun's making more sun flares and they're hotter. So they're saying potentially that there could be one, whatever sun flare that hits us really hard and could wipe out. Like wonderful. Technology, Wi-Fi, all that shit.
Oh, good. I hope.
I hope so too, because
it would be it. I mean, I don't know if I don't know. I think that's the thing. Our age group, we didn't have all of that. I can still read a map, okay? Like, am I perfect at it? No, but like, if you gave me a paper map, I would be able to look at it and decipher where I needed to go.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm like an expert map reader, so don't judge my skills. But like, I know what that is. Mm-hmm. I know where to find. Actually, you know what? I tried to find one time and I couldn't find it.
A map?
I couldn't find a paper map. Like the ones where you flip through, I could not find them. Like an atlas, that's what they call that.
Oh, yeah.
It's an atlas. I couldn't find one. I think the only place I've seen one at is like at the
library.
Well, I'm sure the library has one, but one to buy. Like I couldn't find one to buy because we don't use it. We use a GPS instead. But
do you like on the way to the like on the highway they have the
the travel they have it there.
Yeah,
that's the only place.
They do have them there?
They do. That's the only place I've seen them. But I don't know where else. Like if something catastrophic happened, where the hell am I gonna get a map?
I'm gonna have to go to the rest stop.
I guess I'm gonna have to walk there. Hopefully, I have enough gas to drive there. But no, it's just I can't. It's people don't. The younger age group, like they don't know how to do anything without like their phone. And I'm like, I can do it. I don't do it, but I did learn the skills at like a very young age to do all of that. I remember my mom and I would be driving down the road and you'd have like the printed Google Map directions, and I'd be reading them to her while we're going down the road. MapQuest, yeah. You're like, Mom's like, where do I turn, Gabby? You turn on X Street, Mom. Like I remember being a little bitty kid doing that. I know younger kids don't have that memory at all.
They're like, can I use your hotspot, Mom?
I would have been like, what's hotspot? Like, I was nothing. We didn't have that. Like, we really are the turning of where it switched.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, my dad was a computer guy, so he had, like, floppy drives. Like, I remember those things. And, like, putting them in
your dad was a computer guy?
Mm-hmm.
Mine was, too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my dad owns his own computer business. And so he had, like, floppy drives, and he used to put computers together and, like, all that stuff. So I remember and he kept that stuff for a long time because you couldn't just, like, the transition happened, but it didn't happen overnight. It was kind of gradual, and honestly, he does stuff for dentists, and dentists just tend to, like, leave things outdated, I'll be honest with you.
Well, I mean, we still had floppy disks, like you said, around.
Yeah.
And then we saw the CDs, and then the iPods.
Yeah.
Boy, when the iPods came out.
That was it, man. That was nice.
That was like a quintessential.
The ones with the screens, though. Because I didn't have the big one. Like the one where you could, like.
Classic?
Yeah, I don't know what it was called. But the dial one where you could, like, use your thumb.
Yeah.
You could pick your song. I had, like, the little, like, shuffle.
Yeah.
And you couldn't see nothing. So you just had to flip through the songs until you found the one you wanted.
I think you could shake them, right? And it would shuffle, or they didn't even have a shuffle.
They didn't have a shuffle button. You had to just hit. I don't think they did. Now you're really gonna make me think about this, Xavier. I don't think so. And then they came out with the longer ones that had the screens that were like the minis or whatever. Because the big ones were kind of expensive.
Yeah,
when
the
classic one. Those were like a couple $100, I think.
Yeah, because it was like 256 gigabytes, I think.
Yeah, it was like it was a big deal. You were like the cool kid if you had that. But but I didn't have that. My cousin had one, but I never got one of those.
I would still love to have one. I think that'd be cool if they came out with one that you could connect to like Apple Music if you have a subscription. Just like for the nostalgia.
I guess. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet, to be honest with you.
Right?
Like I think they're coming out with have you seen the new Apple glasses? I was talking to Matt Gray about this, and I thought this was kind of interesting. Because I think the main point of this is to talk about technology. So let's talk about this. So I personally think at some point, like if you don't have money, you're not going to get to have real experiences. I kind of have that inkling. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I pray it doesn't, but it might. And so I feel like these VR glasses, like a lot of people can't afford to go to Disney because Disney is so expensive, which it is. I'm not going to lie. It is kind of it. Like for everything you get to do, if you like compared what you pay like for like an annual pass, and then you like compared it to like having, if you like went to a zoo or you went to all these places consecutively, I think at the end of the day it's probably not a terrible deal, but that's just my opinion. But because it's so expensive, a lot of people don't go or can't go, and now you're going to be able to wear those VR glasses and like experience Disney.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So I say, like, for the people that don't have lots of money, expendable income, I think these VR sets will become cheap. They'll become relatively inexpensive. I feel like at some point it will become, like a CD or like a laptop. So like it's expensive one-time buy, but you get to keep it for extended period of time.
$3,500 right now.
Oh, yeah, I know they're really expensive.
Really
but
expensive.
I don't think it'll stay like that. I think eventually it will become a lot less expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody will have one. And then if you'll get to have those experiences, and if you want real life, like, you have to pay more for it. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I could see that.
I definitely see that. I mean, it's not like capitalism isn't going away anytime soon.
Well, I think negative capitalism anyway. The dark side of it, let's put it that way.
That
I think,
part.
Yeah.
The paywalls and subscriptions.
Just all of that junk. It's just consumerism. That's really, I think that sometimes like capitalism itself is okay, but it's like the consumerism that it causes and the negative part that goes with it. It's like the Rockefellers of the world. When all of that happened, it's very similar to what we're dealing with today. That's my personal opinion. Like,
I see that.
It's
absolutely.
very similar. And I think you get to a certain point where people have too much money and they can control everything. I think we put things in place in America for good, but we didn't understand the long-term repercussions, like the stock market. There's no reason why BlackRock should own every business. Because they have too much stock in it, and if they pull the stock out, the company goes broke. Why is that way? We should have never done that. We did it so that people could have a say in a big company to kind of avoid the Rockefellers of the world, but instead we figured out a way to make it evil.
Yeah, we made some big-ass conglomerate of evil doers.
I know, unfortunately. It's terrible. It's so disgusting to me, but I do think that's what they're going to end up doing with the VR glasses at some point. And then they have, three core or 3 image or something like that, and it's like holographic.
Oh, yeah.
3 wave, that's what it is.
Yeah.
3 common wave or something like that, where it's going to be all, like, you just set a box down and it's holographic. I think new construction is going to eventually become like that.
That would be pretty cool. That 3D printing shit seems too slow.
It is really
and they look ugly.
I don't know. They haven't been able to speed that up any. I don't know.
They haven't.
I don't know if it's because they don't want us to be able to make our own stuff and not have to buy. Like, my brother-in-law's, like, having them build him these Mandalorian, like, cuff things. And, like, it's only costing him, I think, like, maybe $50 or $60. And, like, if you were to buy that same thing from, like, let's say Disney World or something like that, I mean, you're talking $400 or $500 probably. I mean, it's triple that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's why they don't want the 3D printing to become a thing.
Disney brand, right?
Is because they don't get to make money off of it.
Yeah, we won't see that hit for a while. It's so interesting to see where the world's going to be in like 20 years from now.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I personally think we're going to have a renaissance. This is just my opinion.
I think so too, because we're in like a dark ages right now.
We are, and I think it's going to continue to get worse, unfortunately, but like the dark ages has to get worse before like the renaissance comes. Mm-hmm. But I already kind of see the renaissance coming into play a little bit because art and stuff is becoming much more popular. Mm-hmm. Like here, even in Ocala, do you know about Incubus?
No, what's that?
So Incubus is, I was going to interview Andreas, and he got sick or whatever, so I haven't been able to interview him. I've got to message him, but he did it. It's the Depot, so they turned part of the Depot, I guess, into like a whole art school
Depot?
type.
What Depot?
The train depot
downtown.
No, you're good. They call it the Depot. I don't know. I'm using his terms, not mine.
Okay.
And so they changed it into like this art gallery, and so you get to like showcase your art there for like a year, and I guess they teach you. This is my understanding. I could be wrong,
wow.
But they teach you on how to present art and put like galleries together successfully and all of that, and you get to be there for a year. And Andreas was one of the people that had did that. Wow. I think that's super cool. And I had heard about it because somebody else, I was looking, because I find people on Facebook and stuff to interview, mm-hmm. and they did that too. So I can see the art world in Ocala is just like growing and growing and growing. I'm really intrigued to see where that kind of goes. It makes me excited anyway for at least it's something better than horses.
Have you ever been to the art gallery downtown?
Which one? Noma?
Yeah.
I haven't been to Noma. Darielle's been because she's an art teacher with Ocala, so with the school system. So she's been to it several times. She likes it. It's okay. Yeah. I haven't been there, but Noma is the one funding. It is really pushing for all of this young, and they have like I don't remember what his name is. He has a kid art show now. and I guess he's been trying to. It's called Yak, and he's trying to get into the school system and stuff. And I was like gonna try to network with him or whatever, but I haven't been able to, because like I'm like we can team up. Like I get you in the school system. My wife's an art teacher. I mean she's literally an art teacher, and she's pretty good friends with the board of directors from the art. Like they like each other. So
Cool.
yeah, no, I'm excited to see that part of Ocala. I'm happy to see the freaks and unusuals and just the awkward, unusual kind of people kind of come to Ocala and build it. I don't know. I think there's something special to say about that, especially because Ocala in the past, like Doriel talks about it, when like Day to Remember and stuff were all here.
Oh, yeah.
And that whole time frame and all of that, and they were like hated so hardcore because Doriel's her brother-in-law was friends with the lead singer from Day to Remember.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, they like grew up in church together and everything, but they were so hateful to that community.
Yeah.
And so I'm interested to see how things go. I see a lot of people trying to jump on board with them because now they have money and they want to like exploit them for their benefit. But they were also posh and also like against them, and like I feel like they don't like them. Like they're nice to them, but they don't jive with them. And so that's the kind of the group I'm trying to get into, just because I like those people.
Yeah.
I don't like the posh, like if you like Gold Street, like that whole thing. Like I can't do all. I'm just not that person, Xavier. And you're really not that person either.
I'm not either. I like my freaks and geeks.
Yeah, and I think it's great. They're having like Geek Fest now too. It's gonna be like a regular market downtown Ocala.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, and that's
so cool.
Matt Gray started it, and now his wife's gonna take it over.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
So that's super cool.
That's
yeah,
really
so
cool.
Ocala's.
Damn, I'm leaving and all this shit's happening. I didn't.
I
Even realize.
know it is growing, but I mean,
Ready
I
to
think
put myself out there.
No, it's okay. I think sometimes moving, even if you guys live there for a couple of years and come back. I mean, do you think you'll ever come back or no?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I think it's too soon to say. I'm never one to put my tongue and say like, yeah, this is what I'll do, because I know I change opinions and moods day to day, hour to hour. So I don't know. I think it'll just be good to. I think in a sense for me, I get to have a do-over.
Yeah.
To try and put myself out there in the community, and I think I'll get that opportunity in Richmond, and just explore it myself as well. And I think there is something to be said probably about moving, or you didn't grow up here, right?
No, I'm from Volusia County originally.
Okay, so I mean, in a sense, like you still moved, and you've done some traveling, I'm sure, and that's what everyone says, so I'm just kind of going off of that.
I mean, yeah, to a degree, I would say, because like I moved.
Yeah, that's how I feel, like to a
degree, because I went to college too. So like I left and went to Jacksonville for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I really did whatever I wanted there, and that was kind of nice, especially with like how my parents were. So we did
but
that.
Like regardless of all that, I think what I'm trying to say is
okay.
you're pretty sure of yourself.
Yeah.
I've always been pretty sure.
You've always been like that.
Yeah, so I just kind of, I just know what I like and what I don't, and
just kind of going on a whim. And I don't think there's something wrong with that. I planned on doing that whenever I graduated college. Like I planned on getting a food service job and like moving to like Michigan or I don't know, somewhere. We were gonna move somewhere and live there for a couple years. Life's kind of different now. We still talk about moving sometimes, just because I would like a change of something. I've never lived anywhere else but Florida my entire life. I've only ever lived here. Not that I hate Florida, but it's just something different would be nice for a change. Mm-hmm. And so I think there's something to be said about moving, but I don't know if we.
Where do you think, like, where when you imagine moving, where do you like what images come to your mind?
We've traveled quite a bit. So like on our honeymoon, we went to the Grand Canyon and came back, and
nice.
then we recently went to Michigan, and that was a whole mess. But we really liked Michigan. Actually, I didn't expect to like Michigan as much as I did.
I'm sure it's beautiful up there.
It honestly makes a lot of sense as to why Michiganders come here. Like it's very like lake, like there's lakes and water everywhere. Which is weird because that's here in Florida is like that too, and there's like swamps and like there's all of that in Michigan. And
there's a little bit of familiarity.
It was weird, and it wasn't like how people talk about like the Northeast with like the New England and cod and Maine and like that whole scenery there. It's not like that. Mm-hmm. It's different. It's almost more Florida-esque, and something about Michigan is kind of southern too. A lot of people are southern.
They are.
Or country.
I've had a lot of Michiganders come my way, and yes, they are.
Kind of. It's very
Yeah,
odd.
some of them are.
It's very odd. I don't think people. I never understood it until I went there, and then I understood why people. They're so attracted. And I think all of the Midwest is kind of like that. I think both Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota are all kind of like that. And I also get why they like the Villages so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is oddly kind of like it's very like in Midland when we were there, it's very walkable. The Villages is very walkable. Where do you want to walk? You can walk everywhere, do whatever. A lot of activities, very family friendly. There's just like there's something quaint and country and small town, but not about it. It's very interesting.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
And it was not expected for me to like it, but
Yeah.
I like Utah too. I wasn't expecting to like Utah, but we went there and I really liked Utah. It's so clean. I think that's the thing. The South needs to get it together because maybe like I can't speak for like New York and all of those bigger cities, but we need to get, at least here in Florida, we need to get it together because it's so clean up there. Like Michigan, like there's no trash. Like maybe Detroit there is, and in the cities maybe, but like but maybe like in the like every like because Midland's probably similar to Ocala, like size wise.
Oh, okay.
And it's so clean. There's no trash anywhere. Like it's just nice. Utah's like that too, but Utah's super strict. Apparently, all the people came from California because Darielle's family was there, so we visited them. And he said that her uncle said that they were getting tickets because they would just throw their trash on the ground. Because I guess in California people do that. I don't know. But he said that it was because a lot of California people moved to St. George, Utah, because it's not very far. It's probably about like 6 hours away from like Los Angeles, so it's not very far. So a lot of them moved there, and they just.
Is Utah with Salt Lake City?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I
But
thought.
so Salt Lake City's like at the very top, and like St. George is at the very bottom. It's like barely Utah, and it's very desert. It terrain's very different than like the upper part of Utah.
More mountainy north.
Mm-hmm. And snowy and cold. St. George, Utah's hot. Like it was very different.
I can't wait to go to the West Coast. I'm excited for that.
The weather was nice. I tell you, Michigan. When we came back here, I was like, oh my god, it's so hot.
I loved like I went to Chicago years ago, and I loved the weather up there. It was really nice.
It was really nice, and I'm like, now I understand why they're snowbirds. I get it. I understand it. I'm like, we literally went outside, and I was like, you want to go for a walk, Daria? Like, this is so nice. Like it was.
I don't know if I can go for a walk out here.
No, it's so hot.
Swamp ass. Hello.
But the thing that I liked about Utah is the stuff to do. Like they have hiking trails, and it's not overgrown. And it's well taken care of, and a lot of people go out and do it. So those are the things I wish Florida had. Like our walking trails are always so like overgrown.
It looks like
the jungle.
And going and walking around the shores.
No. I mean, I guess you go. I mean, that baseline trailhead's nice, but it kind of gets old. There's something like.
Yeah, I want to see some damn sugar sand and some fucking shrubbery.
I know. So that's the thing about Utah, and Michigan has a lot of outdoor stuff too. Like they have, it's just more walk. The weather's nicer, so you're more apt to just like go for a walk. Maybe it would get old over time, but I don't know. Was Richmond your first choice or no? Did you guys talk about somewhere else?
Oh yeah, we talked about Chicago. We've talked about.
God, I went to Chicago.
We thought about if we don't like Richmond, we'll probably try in Chicago.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'd love to go to New York City. So, Washington, maybe Washington would be nice, but I know you said it's kind of dirty.
Washington's just known to be kind of rough in DC. Like it is what it is. I don't know. I wouldn't live there. That's just personally. I think Richmond is I think y'all picked well.
I think so too, because it's like a good. It's not like, moving from the South, and you're not like moving to the Big Apple. It's like it's a good in between.
It is a good in between, and I think Virginia's growing. It's actually kind of interesting. So Michigan didn't have a whole lot of growth, but I noticed. Also, you guys should look at Kentucky. I know I sound insane. I sound crazy, but we liked Louisville a lot. Louisville was really nice. Like I've
actually heard good things.
We went like downtown Louisville, and I've been to Philly, and like because it's so old, it shares some of the housing and the way it looks. Like, and so we went to these. I was driving downtown, and we're driving through part of Louisville, and I'm like, are we like in a good area? Like, is this like, am I gonna get shot down here? But it was like all like really clean.
Yeah.
And like not homeless people everywhere. And if there was homeless people, like they were kind of just to themselves. Like maybe I didn't go to the part of Louisville that's shitty, but like we drove around it, and I didn't really. I felt like I shouldn't feel safe, but I felt safe. Like it was very weird. I don't know how to explain that, but.
No, I've had a client from Louisville, and she liked it. She said it was very lively. she said they had a decent music scene, and then
Mhm.
all I could think of was, oh yeah, Jack Harlow.
But I was
But,
really
I mean-
surprised. But in Kentucky, so we talked about maybe going to like Bowling Green or something in the middle, because you can drive between Nashville and Louisville. You could drive. It's not very far.
I want to go to Nashville so bad.
We just were there. It was okay.
Yeah.
A little bit of Nashville goes a long way. It's so expensive. Like, we didn't go downtown because
Okay.
it's like $25 to park in the parking garage.
It was like that in St. Augustine.
Oh yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
can't do all that. I won't spend that kind of money on that. I'll Uber in. That's what we talked about doing. Because then it's better. To me, it's better. It's easier.
Yeah.
But I just 20. And then people's cars were like getting broken into and stuff in the garages, and I'm like, no, we're not doing this. No, I don't know. So people say Nashville's gotten kind of rough. I haven't been downtown in a very long time. It seemed to be okay when we were there, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think I just want to go to see. I had another client tell me about they have a pretty good museum down there.
They do.
And, like the historic district is cute.
We went to 12th. I think it's like 12th Avenue or something like that,
Maybe.
and it was very cute over
Yeah.
there. But it's
Yeah.
close to Franklin, and Franklin's the richest county in Tennessee. Like it's in
That's
the,
where she was from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Bougieville.
Yeah,
It's
she
really
was-
nice.
she
I
was
like
pretty.
Franklin, but it's no, I'm good. I would never live in Tennessee, but Kentucky we consider just because it's something in the middle. It's kind of like Richmond. It's like
Mhm.
the same idea. Like we don't want to go super city, but also like want some country. I just don't want to live on top of people anymore. I'm over it, Xavier.
Yeah.
I grew up on a farm. I don't want people close to me. And you're getting
Yeah,
ready
I
to move.
wanna
Are you
get
gonna live in? You guys are gonna live in an apartment, right?
Yeah.
Downtown?
In the area, like there's an area called the Fan, which is just the older historic district.
Okay.
And that's right off downtown. I mean, I would like to be walkable to a salon.
Okay.
Because like you have to pay for parking, in the city. So
Ugh.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've just experienced this so long. I mean, like, it would just be nice to just, I don't know, experience the paper thin walls and your neighbors being on top of you. Like, I don't know. It sounds like ill. Like, who wants to do that? But just when you grow up, where like here, you know, I just.
You want something different? I get it. We wanted
Yeah,
to go.
it's
We wanted
different.
that big city life too. We wanted all of that
Yeah.
at one point. I don't know. We're like, I don't know. It's just, it's kind of, we like have a house, and it's not the house we want though. We definitely want a bigger house, but it's just so expensive in Florida. I'm intrigued to see how things go, especially with all this insurance issues. I think everybody's gonna move back to Michigan, but you know you can buy a house there super cheap, like really cheap.
Yep.
I don't know if
Oh, yeah.
Richmond's if Virginia's like that too.
Wait, where were you talking about?
Michigan.
Oh, okay. No, because Virginia, I think a decent starter house is like $250. I
Okay,
think
so it's like
300.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, or
so
more
it's like
expensive.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the market there.
There was a nice ass house in this little town called Stanton.
Okay, I've heard of Stanton.
Yeah, it was really cute. Super gorgeous house. I probably have it hearted if I wanted to bring it up to you. I mean, it had like it was all modern, updated kitchen. They had a farm kitchen sink in the kitchen, and the bathrooms were immaculate. I love a good bathroom, and the closets were nice. Yeah, it was banging. I'm like, that's what I want. That's what I want. It's not a big house, but it's just modern, and it's just cute.
It's
It was
just cute.
super cute, and I like a good house with like an open floor plan.
Oh,
I like
God, I
it.
hate that stuff.
Yeah.
I hate it. I like old houses.
You
Daryl and
do?
I both like historic homes, like older looking homes with like quirkiness. That's just us.
Yeah, they bring a cozy like vibe to it. Yeah.
I like the old like ranch style. We both kind of like that. The old ranch with like long. It is a little more open floor planish. The 70s kind of had that. We brought that back again, the open floor plan. But now people are complaining about the open floor plan. Now they're going back to like the 80s, like early 2000s. Early 2000s, I can walk into a house and they'll have like a big cutout, and I'm like, what is that? Like, why is there they're like, why does this house have all these weird cutouts? I said, because it's like 2001. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
what to
I
tell
grew
you.
up in a
I'm
house
sorry.
like that. I grew up in a house like that where it was like that.
I know, it's so weird. I don't know why they did that.
Very echoey.
It's stupid. I don't know. They got too creative.
I guess I don't know, when I envision an open floor plan,
Mhm.
I'm like, I want the house, like I want the foyer or whatever how you say it. And then I want the living room with the patio in the back. So you see this big openness in the kitchen. And then everything else is on the side, like the rooms and whatnot, and there'd
Okay.
probably be like a
That's
like
typical.
a family quarter.
That's the normal open floor plan these days.
It probably sounds like a typical Florida, like South Florida house plan, to be honest. From what I
kind
guess
of.
what I'm imagining is like a South Florida kind of vibe.
I guess they have that here too, though. Like I've showed a couple. Actually, Richmond Homes makes a really nice house like that.
Who?
Richmond. It's called
Oh,
Richmond Homes. Is
oh.
the name of the company.
Okay.
And it's really nice. I really like their models. Every time I go, I've taken a couple clients to their models. They don't sell here in Ocala. They sell in Lake County. But I think they're moving this way some. But every time I took somebody to that model, they were always like, I want my house to look exactly like this. Like, that's how good the model was.
Oh, wow.
It would sell the house every time. Like, I could take them there, and the people would be like, I want to sign today. And I'm like, whatever y'all did to this model is, like, the best because everybody loves it. But it's like that, where
They
it's
got
like
that
you
golden
walk
ratio.
you, like, walk in, and it has, like, kind of, like, a little longer hallway. There's, like, a door here, and then you have, like, the kitchen, and the dining room kind of sits back. It has, like, a little cubby area that it sits in. And then you have, like, the open area here with the kitchen and the dining room. It's really nice. And then it has, like, they have the sliding doors, so you can open all three of them, and then, like, bring the screen across. It's really nice.
Do you like watching like architectural like videos or anything on YouTube?
No. I
No.
don't. I like architecture though.
Yeah.
Jerry and I share that. Like I like the architecture of homes and I like to know a house based on. I can tell houses their age based on what's there. Like I'm
Yeah.
pretty good at that. Just
Yeah.
I don't know, something I picked up on, I guess, maybe because I'm very observant. But I like all of that. I don't watch like a lot of like HGTV or any. I didn't.
No, nothing
Yeah.
like that. More like architects who build these nice houses, and they'll like go and show them. Like there was this one in Nevada. There was this one in Nevada, and it looked like it was a part of the mountain, or like it was like almost like a fossil
that's
in a
cool.
sense. Yeah, it was really cool, and it.
I'm gonna have to look this stuff up because this is
Yeah, I'll have
interesting.
to find it and send it to you.
Yeah, you'll have to. That sounds super cool.
Yeah.
I like all that stuff.
I love stuff like that, and I don't know. I think in Richmond, a lot of the houses are more.
They're probably older, aren't they?
Yeah, they're older. But they have like some townhouses and stuff like that are cute.
Are they building any new construction there?
Apartments?
Oh, just apartments. Okay.
Apartments, condos, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, townhomes probably too.
Yeah.
It's mostly.
But the town, I mean, like an older townhouse, like that would be something cool to have. Like,
that would be cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I would just like to have property in the future.
Yeah, Virginia has that.
Yeah.
They do
It's
have that.
pretty up there. I could definitely retire like in the mountains up there.
I always wanted to go to Vermont. I have like a friend that's like that she lives in, I think, Connecticut, and they're going on like a little road trip to Vermont. I'm like, Daria, we should go to Vermont. I'm like, I want to go. There's something. I don't know. I don't know why
I have a stylist friend who's from.
Do you?
Yeah, she's moved
Okay.
back to Vermont. And she's always like, come visit. I
Yeah,
should.
no. But we're gonna have to, when you guys move up there and get everything settled, we'll have to come because we always go on road trips.
Yeah.
You know me. You know, we have road tripped. Hopefully the Kia Soul is Adios Amigos, so we have something better, so we don't break down in Dayton, Ohio. Good Lord, we ain't doing that again. But hopefully we'll have to see. But I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see what happens, what you do.
I'm so excited just for new opportunities in education and all of it.
Yeah. Well, it's always a pleasure, Xavier. Yeah. We always have a fun time when we do this. It always ends up so conversational and funny. So.
Yeah, this has been fun. I loved it. It was